Number seven, at work, do my opinions seem to count? If I have an opinion, if I have an idea, a suggestion, is anyone listening? Does anyone care? I'm always reminded when I see this one of it was a Doonesbury cartoon, Doonesbury, Gary Trudeau. And the first picture was of a employee suggestion box in the lunchroom at some company, employee suggestion box. The next picture was someone opening the employee suggestion box. And as they opened the employee suggestion box, they found it was full of cobwebs, spiders and cobwebs. And the reason for that was no one had ever opened the employee suggestion box, ever. And I think that happens in a lot of companies. When our people have ideas, when they have suggestions, we're not interested. We don't listen, unfortunately. At work, do my opinions seem to count? Number 8, does the mission or purpose of my company make me feel like my work is important? Translated, is my work relevant? Is my work relevant? Is what I'm doing at this desk, am I contributing to something larger, something more important, something more meaningful? Does the mission or purpose of my company, well, what this suggests was, one, there needs to be a mission or purpose. We talked about that in module 1, right? Determining what is the purpose, the why of our company, and then helping employees understand how their work contributes to that purpose. Connecting the dots, so to speak, for our employees so they understand how they're contributing to something larger, more significant. So I had one of my members here in Atlanta owned a company. They processed beef patties, hamburgers. It's a manufacturing facility. Thousands of hamburger patties every day. And I remember asking the CEO, I remember asking Jay, I said, so Jay, tell me about the mission of your company. Why does this company exist? And Jay gave me a blank stare. He just looked at me. He said, Tim, this company's been around for almost 100 years, third generation. He was the third generation. He said, this company's been around for 100 years. Give me a break. Mission, purpose, why would we need that? We've done pretty good so far. All right, fair. So I said, well, if you did have a mission or purpose, what would it be? And he talked about making good hamburgers. If you come to Atlanta, order a burger in a restaurant, more than likely it's coming from his facility. He said, we just try to make good burgers. It's that simple. Okay. So I said, I don't know why I asked him this. I said, have you ever seen someone eating one of your hamburgers? He said, no, because they go through the big distributors, they go through Cisco, they go through US distributors. He said, I don't know that I've ever seen anyone eat one of our burgers.
Did she send it to you?
Right?
No.
But he thought that was an interesting question. So he did something I give him a lot of credit for, is it's like a Saturday or Sunday, he put a half a dozen of his employees, the people making the burgers, put them in a van, and they went to the Varsity here in Atlanta. If you probably aren't familiar with the Varsity. The Varsity is this huge fast food restaurant here in Atlanta, been around for many years. It's the largest in Atlanta, maybe one of the largest in the country, fast food. Right across from Georgia Tech campus here in Atlanta, downtown. So he took them to the Varsity. They got out and they walked into the restaurant. And he shared a couple things with me. He said, first of all, the place was packed with people sitting at tables, eating hamburgers and hot dogs, chili. Place was packed. Second, he said, it appeared that at every table there was a family. Every table there was a family. Parents, grandparents, kids, grandchildren, all at the same table eating their hamburgers and hot dogs. Family at every table. and that some of them were dressed up, some weren't. Kids, different outfits, families. Third thing he noticed was that it appeared at most of the tables, these families, like they were celebrating something, celebrating a birthday, celebrating an anniversary, celebrating Johnny's first baseball hit, and Johnny still had his uniform on. They came straight from the game. Every table was a family, and they were celebrating something. And it was at that moment that Jay, as he shared it with me, said it was at that moment that for the first time in the 30 years that he's worked in this business, that he understood why this business existed. He got clarity on something that he'd never thought about before. It appeared to him, seeing these families at these tables celebrating, that in a way, his company was all about bringing families together for special occasions.